Hello, welcome. We just have a few more people joining and then we will begin. Okay, everybody. Hello, welcome. Welcome to our webinar about K1 starting in August. My name's Susanna. I'm the principal here at ESF Chingy. I'm joined on the panel today by Ali, who is our vice principal and curriculum coordinator, and by Michelle, who is our lead for inclusion and well-being at school. We are going to take you through some information today about our K1, but we appreciate that you will also have questions that you might want to ask. If you do have questions that you'd like to ask as we go, please just add them to the chat box. We're happy to take any questions that you have at this point, and we'll get to them at the end. We'll work through all the slides first, and then we will get to the questions at the end. So there will be an opportunity for you to hear our answers. I'm going to share my screen, and we will make a start. Okay. Into slides, and we will start. Okay, so welcome to ESF Chingy. We're very happy to have you joining us to give you an overview of our mission and our vision. The vision across ESF is that all children can be the best that they can be. That is the goal for all the work that we do, and it is the structure of everything that we are trying to achieve. Our mission is around providing a stimulating collaborative learning environment. We obviously are supporting inquiry through play-based learning. We are a play-based kindergarten, and that is, again, underpinning everything that we do. We're looking to encourage all of our students from a very young age to be independent, to be confident, and to be caring, but most importantly, to feel like they're members of our community and that they belong with us. We are looking also to develop their understanding of how they are as a global citizen, so the impact that they can have on the world and the community around them. So there is a shared vision across CSF and a commitment to equal opportunities in all of our schools. We do have policies that support all children and provide a positive, welcoming environment for all students and their families. It's very important that you feel like you belong to our community from the very beginning, and we will do everything that we can to make sure that that happens. For the students, we're here to help them gain an understanding that there may be people and families and communities that exist beyond their immediate experience. Part of coming to kindergarten is about them helping to understand about the greater world around them, and that sometimes perspectives can be different from their own. We are an inclusive kindergarten for all learners, so it's important to realize that your child will be learning alongside children who learn in ways differently from them. We will support all of our students in that. The main person that's taking the lead with that is Michelle. So, a day in our kindergarten, what does it look like? For our K1 students, they will enter through the side gate. So we have two entrances. We have a front gate and a side gate. Both walkers and bus children will enter through the side gate. I will be the person that is at the side gate every morning, at the beginning of every morning session, the beginning of every afternoon session, guiding you in and helping you as you drop your child off for school. When they get up to class, they are taking responsibility for putting their bags away, putting their name badges on. This is an important part of helping them to develop their own sense of independence and their own sense of self-management. In our kindergarten, learning can take place in the classroom, so their class space. It can also take place in our shared areas, and it can also take place in the outside garden area, which happens with the whole class. So every day, each class gets a chance to go out into the garden for part of their learning experience. And sometimes learning can look like a whole class. Sometimes learning can look like a small group, and sometimes it can be individual. Sometimes it's with an adult, an educator, and sometimes it's independent. But learning can look very different each day in very different ways. At the end of the session, we encourage children to get their own bags, and we either take them down to the buses, they're escorted by members of staff, or we will come to the back gate and we will dismiss to you. This is our K1 team. We have Tejal and Caterpillar class. We have Sophie and Ladybird class. We have Tilly and Bumblebee class. We have Danielle and Butterfly class. And Shirley is the Chinese teacher for K1 this year. All of our educators have been with us for many years. They're very comfortable and confident in knowing how to help K1 children settle. They'll also be able to answer any questions you may have as we go along. So this is our front entrance. You will actually go to the side entrance. So this is the K2 gate. You will move into the side gate, which is to the side of the school. Our sessions start at 8:30 in the morning for morning session and will end at 11:30. And our PM sessions start at 1 and will run until 4. This is the side gate. This is where K1 will enter and exit. And this is where I will be each morning at the start of the session and at the end of the session. When you start school, you will be asked to provide a photo of your child. This photo will be added to their pickup card. Pickup cards are an essential part of the pickup process. No adult will be allowed to take a child without showing us their pickup card. You will get it sent to you through the ESF hub. We encourage you to take a screenshot and share it with the adult that is most likely to be picking up your child. If that's a helper, if that's a grandparent, they will need to show us the pickup card on their phone or print it out when they come to collect. It's really important that you are punctual and on time. And at the beginning of the year, dismissal does take longer. It will take longer because we are getting used to the system. The children are getting used to the routine. We do get much quicker as the year goes on, but please be patient at the beginning of the year because dismissal will take longer. We recommend, as we say, that you take a screenshot and you keep the card as a favorite so that you're not scrolling through trying to find it at pickup. You will need to show it. Another tip, if grandparents are picking up, if your child is known by another name at home, it's really helpful for them to know what their child's school name is to make pickup a little more seamless. And that happens. We understand children may have different home names from school, but it's a lot easier for us if the person picking up is using the school name that we also use. When we're doing pickup, we'll pick up in the order that's shown below. So ladybirds, caterpillars, butterflies, and bumblebees. So bumblebees will be at the last. We'll have ladybirds first, then caterpillars, then butterflies, then bumblebees. Please make sure the person picking up knows which class your child is in, because I will call each class, each set of adults by their class name. Toileting. One of the biggest questions we get either before or during the process is, does my child need to be toilet trained before they come to school? The short answer is no. The longer answer is that it is much easier if they are. It's much easier for them if they are able to self-manage their toileting. But we do understand that it happens in different stages. We see it as a self-training skill that the children will have the opportunity to practice with full support kindergarten. And it's non-judgmental. So if accidents happen or if people need to get changed, we are used to supporting children through that. Everyone's treated with dignity and care and compassion during the process. And we do have a dedicated member of staff in K1 who will manage that process. We do want to support you with this, though, and I will encourage you, if possible, to have your children practice with the toilet before they come to school. If they're not toilet trained, it's okay. We can work on it, but it is much easier for them if they're able to do it before they come. But we do understand that it takes children longer at different stages. Okay, snack. We also get asked a lot about snack. Snack is optional, so not all children have to eat. And more importantly, we do not make any child eat. So if your child comes with snack to school, we will remind them to try snack. But if they don't want to, then we will not make them eat, and then the snack will go home. We will encourage you to remember that we are a nut-free school. So we do not want any nut products. That means peanut butter. That means cookies with hazelnut in. That means things like Nutella. No nuts whatsoever. Certainly no almonds, no pistachio nuts, nothing like that. No nuts. We are a nut-free school. We encourage you to send in a water bottle, just water, no juice, no milk, no soy milk, no other liquid apart from water. And if you are sending in grapes, so bigger pieces of fruit, please ensure that they are sliced sideways into smaller pieces as they are a choking hazard. If you're not the person that's going to prepare your child's snack, please share this information with them because it's really important that you are able to, first of all, support our nut-free school, also to ensure that any big pieces of fruit or big pieces of snack are manageable for your child and are not a choking hazard, and that the children only come in with water. Snack is a rolling snack, so they don't all sit together to eat. Children choose when they eat. We have a snack table in each class, and children will choose, will get their snack bags, will choose their snack. So it's important that they also have a snack box that is easy for them to open and access. Staff, of course, will support them with this if it's needed, but this is a big part of encouraging them to be independent and to make their own choices. Because that is a big part of the work that we do with agency in our school, is children developing the skill of being able to make choices, and choosing when and if you eat your snack is going to be part of that. We encourage you to send in at least one change of clothes with your child. So that can be a full uniform, certainly underwear and socks. They will absolutely need also a school hat to go out to play. So if you haven't got one yet, please make sure you also add one of them to your uniform. And the water bottle as well should be inside the school bag. Please make sure that everything is labeled, everything. The thing with uniforms is uniforms are wonderful, but they all look the same. So if you lose a cardigan, if you lose a jacket, everybody's hat looks the same. Please make sure that your child's stuff is all labeled. So then if anything does go missing, we're able to find it quickly for you. You will have or will soon receive information about the ESF Hub. In the summer, the whole of ESF is moving onto a new online system. That includes us. We are also moving over too. You will be sent information for the hub either this week or next week, and you will be able to download and log on and set up your account from early August. This is an example of what it looks like at one of our other kindergartens. So you will see that we have the Hillside International Kindergarten example here. You will have a news feed. You will also be able on the system to record absences. You will have a calendar. It's really important, if you can, to set the notifications to make sure that the news feed is constantly updating for you, because it's really important in the case of typhoons or weather. If we need to change our routine or our processes, we will inform you of it through that. You will also, as part of the ESF, have onboarding, have the option to give us consent for using educational tech and tools, for being part of direct marketing, for the use of photos and general school consent forms. That's all part of that, and you will be able to access that through the app. You'll need to click on whether you agree or you don't agree to give consent. So please be aware of that. The information about how to access the hub and how to use the hub is going to be shared with you through this webinar recording as well, which will be added to the website that we've shared with you. So all the induction information has been shared with you on our website. This webinar and also the ESF information pack will be added to that too. So play-based learning is the center of what we do. It is an essential part of children's development. It helps children to learn all those fundamental knowledge and skills that they need. It's supported through the IBO curriculum. So as you know, we're an IB school. We follow the PYP, but it's important for you to recognize as well that even within the PYP and that curriculum, we can and do support it through play-based learning. All of the knowledge, all of the skills that's required can be supported through play. We have 4 units of inquiry in K1. The main unit of inquiry that runs all year is about play, which is around learning how to develop relationships, enhance well-being, and learning about themselves through play. We also have a transport unit of inquiry, which helps them to learn more about how systems can be used to move people and things. We also have a stories unit of inquiry, which encourages children to develop their understanding of stories through imagination and ideas and their experiences. And then finally, which the children are just finishing now, is a scientific investigation inquiry unit into how the natural world works. So how can we develop our own investigations? How can we find out more about the world around us? So, as children learn, we will report to you regularly through the year. Again, this is going to look slightly differently as we move on to the ESF Hub. The main way that we report to you will be through your conversations with parents. We will have parent meetings. First of all, you'll have an opportunity at the beginning of K1 as part of the stay in place sessions to talk to your child's teacher over the 2-week induction process. There will also be regular opportunities for you to have conversations with your class teacher. Each unit report will come out to you at the end of the unit and will report on the children's learning. But it's also important to recognise that the ongoing documentation on the ESF Hub, which will be photos and evidence of your child's learning shared through photos, shared through a description by teachers, is also part of our reporting process. That is an ongoing rolling report of your child's work within school. Family engagement is incredibly important, and being able to build strong relationships between home and school is really important. It's important that you feel that you can contact us and communicate with us, and also that we are able to communicate clearly with you. We invite you to take part in our stay in play sessions at the beginning of the year, but also we have shared learning trips. We have volunteers come in for storytelling during the stories unit. We have class celebrations at Christmas and at New Year's. We have shared learning days. And for each unit, we invite anyone to come forward to a volunteer to share their experiences related to children's unit learning. So it's very much an ongoing rolling opportunity for you to reach out and to connect with us. The conversations we have are incredibly important to us, and making sure that we are communicating effectively is the key. Language learning. So you've signed up for ESF Jingyi, which is an English-only medium of education. But as part of that, we also recognise children's home language is incredibly important. Children's home language will strengthen their acquisition of English if English is not their home language, but it will also help with any kind of learning within school. It's really important that we are supporting home language where necessary and appropriate. It is the mode of instruction, though, and you need to realise if your child is not an English speaker at home, that you will need to support their English learning outside of school too. We only have them for 3 hours. So if you think that 3 hours is going to be enough for your child to learn English, it's not going to be. They are going to have the opportunity to practice language outside of school as well. We will do everything we can to support language in school, but it's important to remember that we don't teach English, we teach in English. And that's an important distinction to be aware of. You need to be supporting their English language learning outside of home, outside of school too, if that's not the language of instruction at home. However, we are not saying that you only speak English outside of school. It is very important that you are supporting their home and mother tongues as much as you can, as well as English. We teach Putonghua Chinese to children in school. We have obviously Michelle will take the lead with that. Children have up 2.5 hours of Chinese instruction per week. We are not a bilingual kindergarten, so just to be aware that that's the language that we offer. Across ESF, we use simplified Chinese, so it's important to be aware that that is the text that we're using too, as well as alongside the Mandarin Putonghua. Communication skills are a significant part of the work that we do, encouraging children to be able to communicate with each other, to communicate with their adults. When it comes to language, if your child's not coming in with any English or with very limited English, then it's very important, if you can, before they start school, to develop the language skills to be able to communicate basic wants and needs. So, for example, I'm hurt, I need help, I need the toilet, I want my snack. very simple phrases that they can use if they don't already have them, because that will help immensely in helping your children to settle. But language support in general, whether that's in mother tongue or whether that is in English, is going to be essential for success. And we will be able to support you with that and help you with suggestions or recommendations. Across CSF, we have an RSC curriculum that comes under relationships, sexuality, and education. Relationships and sexuality education. It's important to understand that at kindergarten, that obviously looks very different from how it would look at primary or secondary. In kindergarten, our focus is on respect for themselves, on their personal diversity, on their personal understanding of identity, of diversity and responsibility within our community, and also about developing their sense of self-esteem, their sense of safety, and the idea of how friendships and relationships can be built. All of this is part of our unit work. And we also are developing a sense of effective communication and the ability to make decisions. Also, the kindergarten focuses on naming body parts correctly, because that is an important part of their personal safety. So for your child's personal parts, we will be using the terms penis and vulva to describe them and to help them to be able to identify their part. It's the same as being able to say a shoulder or an elbow. It's a descriptive word for a part of their body. This will also help develop their sense of personal safety. So if they do ever need to share anything with us that they're uncomfortable about, they will have the language to do that. It will also support developing understandings of friendship and family and developing the idea of gender roles in play. So RSC does look different in kindergarten. It's very much tailored to the level of their child's understanding and to help them to develop their own sense of self and sense of safety. Which leads us into safeguarding child protection. Safeguarding is a crucial part of the work that we do in kindergarten. Safeguarding is the actions taken by all of us, including you, to ensure that all children feel nurtured and safe. That happens in school, but that's also part of their outside school as well. Child protection refers to the actions we may take in response to harm. So if we feel like any child is endangered or is in any harm, then there will be actions that we take. You will know that the government enforced Hong Kong mandatory reporting at the beginning of this year. We are all trained in that, and we are required by law to take action if we feel like any child is not safe. So just to be aware that we have a requirement, not only a moral obligation, but we now also have a legal obligation to take action if we feel that a child is not safe or is in danger. This is to ensure that all children are safe and protected, and we take this part of our work very seriously. We have 2 named child protection officers, so one of them is me and one of them is Ali. These are the people that you can, if you have concerns, direct concerns to, but we are also the people that will take action if needed. But any teacher who is registered with the EDB is also required to be a mandatory reporter and also has a responsibility that is legal to ensure that any reporting is made to ensure children's safety. Everyone on staff, whether they are a registered teacher or not, will take part in safeguarding training that is regularly refreshed. And Ali and I both work closely with the safeguarding team at ESF. It's a very important part of our work. Health and safety obviously is a question that comes up a lot, particularly around things like air quality and health and safety in school. We use air purifiers in all our learning spaces. Our cleaning teams will follow all of the requirements from the health department. And we do get visited. We've had a CHP and an EDB visit this year to check on our processes. And they've all agreed that we're working within recommendations. All of the ES team all of our Chingy team is first aid trained and will respond appropriately if anything happens. If your child is sick, please do not send them to school. It is not helpful. Please ensure that whoever's bringing your child to school, whoever makes that decision, whether it's a grandparent or whether it's a helper, understands that also. Children should not be in school if they're sick because it is not conducive to the health of the rest of our community. And it's not good for them. If they're sick, they should be resting. We will, if a child becomes sick in school, we will notify you and let you know, and we'll give you the option to come and collect. If your child is sick in school, whether that's with vomiting, whether that's fever, we will monitor that. And if your child has an injury, we will also contact you. If it's anything related to the head, we will let you know. If it's a cut on a finger that requires a band-aid and basic triage, we'll let you know at the end of the session. We'll not call you to say your child's had a cut to their finger. But if it is something that requires additional triage or additional support, or if it's anything to do with the face or the head, then we will call you and we will let you know immediately. Again, if your child goes home, because things can happen, and you notice something on your child that maybe you feel like school didn't act on, then you can contact us and let us know, and we will respond appropriately to that. It's an important part of the communication between us both. Okay, that's the end of my sharing. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm happy to open it up to any questions that you may have or anything that you'd like to know more about. So when will K1 be started? We've shared with you the transition process. It will take 2 weeks for us to have sessions where you will come in and you will do a stay and play with us, with your child's class teacher in a smaller group, and then again in a bigger group, and then again in a slightly shortened session. And then eventually at the end of the 2 weeks, we will move to the full session. So school will start back at the middle of August. So please check the information we've shared. When it comes to payments for the K1 fee, I do not manage payments. I do not manage billing. So it's really important that you reach out to the billing department about that. Excuse me, and they will let you know what that process is. I would prefer it to be uniform if you have it, but if it's not, then a pair of casual clothes is fine, as long as we have something for them to change into. We also have spare uniform at school, but often children will feel more comfortable if they're changing into their own uniform. Okay, does the kindergarten associated model apply for children entering K1? No, it does not. So when you are joining K1 with us, you will still have the choice. It will only apply to children who are applying for us in this term. That means that if the child joins K2, they will still be able to follow their sibling into an ESF primary school, apart from Renaissance College, which is already attached to Renaissance College Kindergarten or Quarry Bay Kindergarten. Those two schools, you will not be able to follow a sibling to Renaissance College and Quarry Bay. But if you are starting with us in August, you will be able to follow your sibling to the next school, primary school. We will still have an open choice for you in K2 of the other ESF primary schools, and they will be assigned in the usual way, which is through priority and managed by the ESF admissions. So the associated model will apply after your year. It's important for you to keep that in mind, though, if you have younger siblings coming up behind, to be aware of that will be enforced after your intake of K1. What's the earliest drop-off time in the morning? It's 8:30. The gate will open at 8:30. It will stay open for 10 minutes. So we will allow children to come in between 8:30 and 8:40, and then the gate will close. Because it's very hot at the start of the year, I would encourage whoever's dropping off not to come early, because you'll be waiting outside and it's very hot. If you are arriving early, I'd advise you to wait in the mall where it's shaded and air conditioned, because it does get very hot outside and we're aware of that, but the doors will open at 8:30. A transition from another school for pre-K. It's already important that you're sharing what we have shared with you on the website, which is a video of school and a little social story about school. It's important that they're supported through their stay and play sessions. Those sessions at the beginning of the year are really important for us to be able to support children coming in and being part of our community. We are aware some children will cry. We are aware that some children will find that separation very difficult. We will support that in every way. It happens every year for us. But I understand that me saying, oh, it happens every year for us does not make it easier for you when you are the one who is trying to help your child with transition. I would say the main thing is to always speak about school positively if you can, about the play experiences they're going to have, about the friends they're going to make, about their teacher. For some children, there will be wobbles at the beginning. We understand that, and we're here to support and provide as much help as we can, but we understand that it will happen. And you also need to accept that it may happen. So if we're talking about school positively, if we're working with children to help them understand that they feel belonging in our school, that's the main thing that we can do. How do we manage school bus for arriving and support and departing? Well, that's also me. So the school bus will arrive and park up to the side. As you'll know from Chingu, we're very fortunate in that it is a pedestrianised area all around school. We will go over to the bus, we will collect each bus line and we'll bring them over to school. As the children get more comfortable at getting on and off of the bus, then they are sent over and they can walk over it themselves because it's safe. But they're monitored by members of staff the whole time. But in the beginning, we will bring them over and escort them over. At the end of the session, we have 2 EAs per bus who will bring each group down, and then they will go on the bus at the side. We will load them onto the bus one by one at the side. And the bus mothers are there to receive them. So that's how we manage that. But any bus issues that happen on the bus, you need to talk to the bus company about that, because obviously it's not a member of ESF Chingy that's on the bus with them. But if there's anything about the transition to or from the bus, then we're happy to answer any questions you have about that. One thing about the bus that's really important, if your child is normally on the bus and they're not riding the bus, you need to let school know. It is not enough for you to tell the bus mother, because we maintain bus lists through the day, which then dictate how we and who we pick up from class. So you need to keep us up to date. We sometimes will have parents that turn up at the gate and say, I don't want my child on the bus, but they haven't informed us. It's very, very important that you inform school. You can do it via the hub. You can click on a button. You can call school. You can email. There's lots of different ways for you to do it. But please let us know if your child is not riding the bus on that day. It's very helpful for us to be able to manage our lists and ensure that everyone gets to where they need to be. Chingy Kindergarten will not link to the 3 primary schools this year. That is not what, for your year group, what is happening. You will still be able to choose from across, apart from Renaissance College and Quarry Bay. The associated school model will only apply to K1s coming in the year after yours. Will school fees rise every year? That is not my decision. That is managed by ESF Centre and the EDB. Do they usually? Yes. Do I have any input in that? No. It will be proposed to the EDB by ESF Centre, and then the EDB either agree or they don't. The school holiday schedule, the calendar is shared with you on that ESF website that we've shared, the Chingy website, but it's also on the ESF website as well. But if you go to the Chingy website, you will see specifically when the school holidays are, and you will also see when our closures for staff training days are as well. Any specific time for toilet time? No. As with adults, children go when they need to. Obviously, in the beginning, we are encouraging them to go regularly through the day, but do we line all the children up and take them all at once? No, we don't. But we are encouraging children to go regularly through the session. Accidents will happen. We're aware of that. And as I've said, we'll handle that carefully. But the children will choose. If you've been in our K1 space, it's very open plan. The children can go to the bathroom. It's monitored by our member of staff, by the AMA, Miss Stephanie. So that's managed. Outside activities in K1, yes, there are external trips in K1, but they will come in term 1 and they will also come in term 3. But what we are encouraging children to do is use our outside space every day. So the children are outside every day, but if you're talking about external extracurricular trips, then they will happen in term 1 for K1 and in term 3. Putonghua is not in a single session. It is broken up into 2 separate sessions. We try and find a balance of teacher directed, And then we also try and find a balance of supporting language through play. So there is a bit of both. Shirley will work with the Poussin Warrior, who will also have scheduled time with the children to support their language. So it's 2.5 hours per week, but it's split over 2 chunks of time. The school calendar is available on the website that we've shared with you, but it's also available on the ESF website. Just to clarify, my child is free to apply to any ESF primary school. Yes, for this year group, yes, but not Quarry Bay Kindergarten, not Quarry Bay School, and not Renaissance College. Okay, any others, yes, not those two. The following year, we will work with the 3 associated schools. Are car drop-offs allowed at the same spot? No, it's pedestrianised. Cars do not come down to the side of school. So cars will need to drop off. Parents will need to walk down from the drop-off spots. If the parent is not good at English, is there Mandarin speaking teachers? Yes, there is. We have Mandarin members of staff who can support better communication. We're also happy to lean into any kind of AI magical models that can help us with that too, if that's helpful for you. Communication is important, but we are able to support that in Mandarin if we need to. K1 is the 11th of August. There is a schedule for K1, so it's not just one family day. It is broken up over 2 weeks into different sessions. We have a different day for families during that first week to come in smaller groups, and then we have stay and play sessions. It's different for different classes, so it's important that you refer to the information that's been shared with you. If you have a specific question or you're confused, please email the admin team directly and they'll reconfirm it for you. But for each class, because we are coming in at different times and at different stages, so that we can make sure that everyone has equal time across the board. We do not have everyone in all together in the beginning. Some classes are coming on certain days, so it looks different in different classes. Please refer to the schedule. Again, if you're not sure about anything, please contact the admin team and they'll clarify that for you. How do you apply for sick leave via ESF Hub or call in? Hub will be easier because you'll just click a button, but of course you can call in as well or email in if you want to. What kind of outdoor activities will be offered in K1? We have external trips related to the unit of inquiry for transport. We also have a shared experience related to play in term 3. In term 2, we have people who come in. So we have puppet shows and we have storytellers and dramatists that come into school. Any sports day or activities with other kindergarten schools? Not presently, no. But we're always open to suggestions of ways to develop that. But do we have a sports day? No, we don't. Okay, do we have any other questions? We've come to the end of the questions in the Q&A, but I'm more than happy to answer any other questions you may have. Anything else that you'd like to add? One more? Let's see. How many kids and teachers in each class? Yeah, we have a class of 25. We have 1 teacher and 2 EAs. Most of our EAs do have a teacher qualification as well. What about siblings? The 3 attached schools will not apply for your year group. So if you are coming into K1 this year, you will still be able to apply to the other ESF schools, but not to Quarry Bay or Renaissance Kindergarten. If you have siblings at a school outside of ESF, you'll make your application. If it's older than us, then you'll make your application and the ESF admissions team will then send you to the place that has availability. But in truth, if you want your children together, then you will need to start kind of thinking about what that looks like. But if you are coming into K1 in August, you will still be able to choose on the 3 associated schools. The following intake of K1 will only be able to choose from the 3 associated schools. How many students per class? I just answered that, 25. with one teacher and two EAs. Any schedule for the day? Yes, I can give you a schedule for the day. We come in at 8:30, for example, in the morning. The children are in their class spaces until around 9:30. Part of that is a circle time with their teacher. And then once we are settled into K1, they will have a choice either between class-based learning or shared learning, shared area learning. They will have a scheduled time to go outside, which is a 15-minute slot. And they will also then have an end reflection circle back in their class space with their teacher at 11 o'clock. Is there a class representative? No, we don't run that system. Does my child in kindergarten and the older? Yes, on the app. Yes, you do. You will have the same app, but you'll be able to toggle between children. So you'll have a toggle button for whichever child is you want to contact, whichever school you want to contact. So yes, same download of the app, but you'll be toggling between the two. For outings to guardians need to attend as well. Yep, you do. Children must be accompanied on those. There is one in term 1 for K1, and there is one in term 3 for K1. And yes, those are the outings that you will be required to attend. Oh, future intake. For future intake, then yes, they will need to go with the 3 associated schools. So if you come into us, and if you, for example, decide to send your child to Sharton Junior, you will still be able to make that choice. Bear in mind, you may not get your first choice, but for example, if you choose Sharton Junior and you get that as your first choice and you go to Sharton Junior, then you will need to send a younger sibling to the associated kindergarten, which would be Ukai Shah. You would not be able to send them to us. Okay. If you send your child to Cowling Junior or Beacon Hill or Discovery College, then yes, you would be able to send them to us. So for younger siblings, you need to be aware that that's what it will look like in the future. You would need to send your child, for example, if they go to Sharton Junior, you would need to send them to Ukai Shah. Is there any deadline for toilet training? It's always heavy in the beginning, the workload, but that's part of our job. And it's our job to make sure it's managed effectively. Is there a deadline? No, but if you're not really making any progress by Christmas, we'll have a conversation with you. We'll also probably check in with you in October to see how that's going. We understand, like I say, that it happens different times for different children, but we need to know that you're trying to make some progress with it. Because the pull-ups and the huggies, the pull-ups and the nappies, they're fine. But really, when they're in school, when they see other children around them also using the bathroom and being independent, it really, really does help for them to be able to do that for themselves too. You can choose your child's uniform every day. Sure, as long as it's uniform, you can choose. What's the schedule of teaching for 3 hours a day? It's like I said, circle time at the beginning and the end of the session, 15-minute scheduled outside time. The rest of the learning will either happen in the class spaces or in the shared area. The children will also have, like I say, their piece of raw specific days when their teacher is with them. And that will be shared with you. So is there any difference, different days? No. Is there anything you need to be aware of that will impact on you? No. There will eventually be a library day where the children will bring library bags on Monday. But apart from that, the schedule will remain pretty much the same. Any homework? Absolutely not. You will never get homework from us. I don't believe in it in kindergarten anyway. But you will get, as part of our class learning journeys at the end of the week, you will get a suggestion for something you could do at home if you choose to. But is there homework? No. Any schedule for the uniform? No. You just send them in their uniform. People ask about shoes mostly because it says black shoes as a uniform. I really don't care as long as your children are comfortable. So if you choose to send them in trainers or sneakers, that's fine. Just nothing kind of flip-floppy or heeled princess shoes or anything like that. Anything that's practical and comfortable for school is fine. But no different uniform schedule. You can choose to send in the skirt or the pants or the shorts or the short sleeve or the long sleeve. That's entirely up to you. Earliest pickup time, well, session finishes at 11:30. If you need to do an early pickup, then you need to contact school and let them know, and we can facilitate that. But the session in the morning does finish at 11:30, and the children will be dismissed at that time. Do you need a sick leave certificate if you take sick leave? No, but if you do have one, please share it with us. Current K1 intake, will they get priority to go to the same school as their sibling? If the sibling is older than them, yes, you will have sibling priority. Yes. If it's Renaissance College, though, no. If it's Quarry Bay, no. If it is any of the other schools, you will still have your sibling priority. Yes. Any fixed schedule for toileting or snacks? No, it's based on the children. They are encouraged to do both at regular intervals during the day, but there is no set time for us all to do one thing or the other. The class uniform is the polo shirt or the check shirt. It doesn't matter. You choose whichever one you like. I don't mind. Both are considered uniform. Often the check shirt is worn when the weather is hotter and the polo shirt when the weather is less hot, but you can make that decision yourself. Uh, yes, we do have someone who can change them if that's the case. Um, if there's, children often poop on a schedule, we're aware that often they'll have a set time when they poop. If you feel like this is going to be something that happens during the school session, it's helpful for you to let us know. But are we aware that these things can happen? Yeah, of course. And there is someone that can support them. Uh, will they acquire proper pencil holding and scissor cutting skills? We do lots and lots of different ways to support fine motor skills. And in supporting that, we do support pencil holding and scissor cutting skills. But we understand that for all children, that happens at different stages and in different ways. Do they need indoor shoes? No, we do not change shoes for indoors. Children wear the same shoes throughout the session. Any homework tasks, there's absolutely never going to be homework from us. That's never going to happen. But we will give you a suggestion at the end of the week if you want to do some follow-up with your students, with your children, about something that they've been working on that week, or if there's anything specifically important about the week. Okay, I think that's us answered. Any child Yes, photos and videos are shared regularly. It will mostly be photos. It will mostly be photos, and there will also be a descriptor next to it around what learning that is. So what it is not is a lot of cute photos of your child posing in school. Photos we share are learning related, and they will have an accompanying piece of text that will describe to you exactly what the learning is within that photo. That is part of our reporting system. How and where to purchase the uniform, please double check on that website that we have shared that will have that information on it. We do have a uniform supplier that we work with, so contact them and they will help you with that. Feedback on students' performance, yes, it happens during teacher meetings. It will also happen during their online sharing of photos and learning, and you will get reports at regular points in the year. If your child is having a particular difficulty with learning, or there's something in addition that we feel we need to talk to you about, then we will reach out and arrange a meeting for you. But there will be regular points of meeting for your child. We are not one of the kindergartens who will phone you every 2 weeks and have a phone conversation. That's not how we manage that. It's important to be realistic about the amount of contact that you will have with us. We're a very full and busy kindergarten. So I know that some kindergartens with smaller class groups are able to have more regular conversations with parents. But just to be aware, our teachers have 50 over the course of a day that we need to be aware of. So we do have regular, ongoing communication with you, but it might look slightly different from the local system if that's what you've been used to. Okay, so it's just about managing some expectation around that. You're also always welcome to reach out to us and kind of, if there's things that you're worried about, you can contact us and we can help you through that. Okay, do we have any other questions? Anything else people would like to ask while you have the three of us online? Okay, we are really looking forward to connecting with you in August. The schedule for your stay and play sessions has been shared. You also have all of the information about the uniforms and everything else as part of the K1 website. When will be the first day of school? That will be different for different children, so you need to check the schedule that we've sent to you around what that looks like. If you're not sure, if you're confused, then please reach out to the admin team and they will help you with that. But it will look slightly different for the first 2 weeks of play sessions. Any school annual performance, we do a concert at Christmas. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. The video session will go live on the website by tomorrow, so you can go back and take a look at it again. Okay. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Welcome. I am going to sign off now. Oh, yes, we will absolutely be sharing the webinar recording. And the presentation will also be shared on the website link that we've shared for K1. So we've sent you a K1 induction information. All of that is on there. There's 3 or 4 pages to it. We will definitely be adding this recording. We'll add the slide deck too. And like I say, we are incredibly fortunate to have your children joining us in August. And we are hoping very much that we're able to connect with you very early on, and make sure that you feel like you belong to our community just as much as your child does. So see you in August. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye. We're very happy to have you with us.